Urologist reveals the 5 foods that irritate the prostate. They've made you believe that feeling embarrassed, waking up 2, 3, even 5 times a night to rush to the bathroom, and that humiliating little leak that escapes when you laugh or cough is just what happens to men after 50. But that is a lie that has stolen confidence and peace from millions of men across the United States. You've been told that surgery is your only real solution, or that you must depend for the rest of your life on pills a pharmacy sells you, pills that only mask the problem instead of fixing it. Today, Dr. Daniela Ramirez is here to expose the truth behind this story. The real cause of that constant embarrassment, those sleepless nights, the loss of control, and the fear of leaving your home because you're always scouting for the nearest restroom, is much simpler than you've been told. And no, it's not old age or your new normal. It's what you choose to eat and drink every day. If you feel like your life has shrunk to planning every outing around bathroom access, if you've accepted the idea that restful nights are gone forever and shame is now your companion, then someone has stolen your social freedom. The biggest obstacle you face is the fear of surgery and the fear of being medicated for life. But I promise you, the solution begins with simple changes. What most experts never tell you is this: before considering surgery or pills that only hide the symptoms, you must look at the fuel you're putting into your body. Your bladder is working hard to support you, but without knowing it, you're irritating it with 5 everyday triggers that we're about to reveal. The most common mistake men make is assuming that urinary leakage or constant urgency is only about the prostate. Let me be very clear. Prostate enlargement, benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH, is the starting point because it puts pressure on your bladder. But when you combine that pressure with a bladder that's constantly irritated by what you drink and eat, you create a perfect storm of discomfort and embarrassment. It's like trying to fix the engine, the prostate, while poisoning the gas tank with your diet. You can't solve this if you don't stop consuming the 5 irritants that trigger that nervous urgency. So let's start with the first one, the simplest step to take back your nights and your confidence: caffeine. The simplest step you can take starting today is to switch to caffeine-free alternatives that calm your bladder instead of attacking it. Replace your morning coffee with a high-quality decaf or herbal teas like chamomile or peppermint, which naturally soothe the bladder and nervous system. To truly test the impact, Dr. Daniela Ramirez recommends eliminating caffeine completely for 14 days, just 2 weeks, to see how dramatically your urgency improves. If after those 14 days you notice a big change, you may reintroduce up to half a cup a day, but never after 12 p.m., because your bladder needs to wind down, not gear up, before bedtime. This single habit can gift you something priceless: peaceful, uninterrupted sleep. Now, let's move to the second bladder irritant: carbonated and fizzy drinks. That bubbly, refreshing feeling is not refreshing for your bladder at all. Whether it's regular soda, diet soda, sparkling water, energy drinks, or flavored fizzy beverages, you need to know this: carbonation is one of the biggest enemies of bladder control for men over 50. It doesn't matter if it's sugar-free or 0 calories. Those bubbles cause physical pressure inside your abdomen that pushes directly on your bladder. Scientifically, here's what happens. The carbon dioxide pumped into these drinks becomes gas in your body, creating bloating. That abdominal bloating adds external pressure to your bladder, like someone pressing on a water balloon, making it contract even before it's full. On top of that, sodas, especially colas, contain acids that irritate the lining of your bladder, making it more sensitive and reactive. I had a patient named Carlos, a brilliant 58-year-old engineer from Texas who never drank alcohol or coffee, but was addicted to soda, 3 liters a day. His biggest frustration wasn't the physical discomfort. It was the embarrassment of leaking when simply standing up too quickly or walking at a normal pace. "How is this happening to me if I take care of myself?" he asked, ashamed. What he didn't realize was that the carbonation inside him acted like a tight belt squeezing his bladder from the inside. When he stopped all fizzy drinks completely, the improvement was fast and dramatic, as if someone had turned off the urgency switch. His lesson for you is this: carbonation is not harmless. It silently sabotages your bladder. The practical solution? Go back to still water, plain, clean water. If you find it boring, add slices of cucumber or melon for natural flavor and to help balance acidity. For true results, remove carbonated drinks for at least 30 days. You will feel the abdominal pressure decrease, and for the first time in a long time, your bladder will feel calm and under your control again. If you want to enjoy fruit without triggering your bladder, choose low-acid options such as bananas, melons, watermelon, and pears, and when cooking, replace tomato-based sauces with roasted red peppers or zucchini to keep flavor without the acidity. Remember, the goal is to create a gentler, less acidic urine that doesn't burn or irritate your bladder. Now, let's move to the third irritant: acidic foods like citrus and tomatoes. This is often the hardest one for health-conscious Americans to accept because oranges, lemon water, grapefruit juice, and tomato-based products are marketed as healthy, detoxifying, and heart-friendly. But Dr. Daniela Ramirez wants you to understand one thing clearly: what's healthy for your heart or immune system is not always healthy for a sensitive bladder. Your body works hard to keep your urine at a comfortable pH level, but when you consume acidic foods, especially concentrated orange juice, tomato sauces, spicy salsas, or lemon water, the acid filters into your urine. That acidic urine acts like a mild chemical burn on the inside lining of your bladder. The tissue becomes irritated, inflamed, and overly reactive, causing your bladder to contract before it's even full. This is what triggers that sudden gotta go now urgency. I remember a patient, Mr. Miguel, a 73-year-old retired farmer from California. He lived a simple and healthy lifestyle, growing his own tomatoes and citrus fruits. His life was peaceful, except for one thing: he couldn't sleep through the night. He was getting up 6 times, exhausted and defeated. When I explained that the biggest cause of his nighttime suffering was the daily orange juice and fresh tomatoes he believed were medicine for the body, he felt almost betrayed by his own healthy habits. "Dr. Ramirez, I thought my diet was perfect," he said, heartbroken. His struggle wasn't physical, it was emotional. He was attached to the belief that natural means healthy for everyone, but natural doesn't mean harmless for a sensitive bladder. I asked him to replace orange juice with melon and swap tomatoes for lower acid vegetables like squash or cucumber. In just 1 week, his nighttime bathroom trips dropped from 6 to 2. His transformation was a reminder that food can heal or harm depending on the organ in distress. The simple rule here is: replace, don't restrict. Cut back on citrus juices and tomato-based sauces, especially at night, if you want a calmer bladder and restful sleep. Now let's talk about the fourth irritant, one that affects not only your bladder, but also your social life: alcohol, and in particular, beer. For many men in the United States, sharing a cold beer with friends is more than a drink. It's a ritual, a social bonding moment, a symbol of relaxation and masculinity. But if you're dealing with bladder urgency or leakage, Dr. Daniela Ramirez needs you to hear this clearly. Alcohol is one of the biggest enemies of bladder control, and beer is the worst offender. If you want to regain control of your evenings and finally sleep through the night, you must reduce alcohol drastically. Here's the science behind why alcohol creates chaos in your bladder. First, alcohol increases urination even faster than caffeine by blocking the hormone responsible for helping your body hold onto fluids. This forces your kidneys to flood your bladder with urine at high speed, as if someone turned the faucet all the way on. Second, and more damaging, alcohol slows down your central nervous system, meaning your brain becomes less responsive to your bladder's warning signals, and at the same time, the sphincter muscle responsible for holding urine relaxes. Beer creates a double disaster. A huge volume of liquid plus alcohol's diuretic effect equals a rapidly filling bladder paired with a weakened hold-it-in system. Let me share the story of Robert, a 60-year-old from Chicago who cherished his Saturday nights with friends. His biggest pain wasn't the physical issue, It was the emotional burden. He began avoiding his group because he was tired of rushing to the bathroom every 20 minutes and ashamed of secretly wearing protection to prevent accidents. With a trembling voice, he told me, "Dr. Ramirez, it's not the beer I care about, it's the ritual. It's holding a beer in my hand and feeling like one of the guys. Losing that feels like losing a part of who I am." I asked him to try replacing beer with sparkling water or low-acid fruit spritzers. That first night was hard emotionally, but he drank 3 bottles of water instead. Just a splash of lemon for taste. And to his surprise, he only got up once to urinate. By the following week, he realized something powerful. The connection with his friends had never depended on alcohol. His identity wasn't in the bottle, it was in the laughter, the shared stories, the friendship. If you truly want to regain your sleep and your freedom, the simplest solution is temporary abstinence. And if you decide to drink occasionally, do it early in the day. Choose smaller volume alcohol, like a glass of red wine, and always with solid food to slow absorption. The ideal standard for full bladder control is no alcohol after 6 p.m. The reward is priceless. Up to 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep, the most valuable form of freedom a man can reclaim. Now we arrive at the fifth and final irritant. And it's a double threat because it hides in 2 places most men don't suspect: artificial sweeteners and spicy foods. This one is especially tricky in the United States because many men trying to eat cleaner or cut sugar turn to diet products, zero-calorie drinks, protein bars, and sugar-free alternatives, believing they are making healthier choices. But Dr. Daniela Ramirez warns that these products often sabotage your bladder in silence. Artificial sweeteners like aspartame, sucralose, saccharin, and even many sugar-free flavored products act like chemical irritants for the bladder lining, triggering inflammation and overstimulating the nerves inside your bladder, almost like pouring hot sauce on a wound. And speaking of heat, spicy foods do the same damage. The compound that makes pepper spicy, capsaicin, doesn't just burn your mouth, it passes into your urine and burns inside your bladder, causing urgency, irritation, and that sharp, "I need to go now" sensation. Think of it as a chemical attack on a very delicate organ. Foods like hot chili, buffalo wings, fiery salsa, cayenne-heavy dishes, or spicy curry leaf traces that your body eliminates through urine, and your bladder pays the price. The same goes for artificial sweeteners found in diet soda, sugar-free gum, low-calorie ice cream, flavored waters, sports drinks, and zero-sugar snacks. They are foreign chemicals that your body struggles to process, and the result is bladder irritation and nerve overstimulation. The solution is surprisingly simple. Read labels and return to natural, gentle ingredients. Cut out artificial sweeteners entirely for at least 3 weeks. If you need sweetness, choose a small amount of real sugar with moderation, or use pure stevia or a little raw honey, not the processed versions loaded with additives. For spices, scale back the heat. Swap cayenne pepper, chili flakes, and jalapenos for herbs that add flavor without pain, such as basil, cilantro, rosemary, parsley, oregano, or thyme. The recommended control dose is to eliminate artificial sweeteners completely and reduce spicy foods to a level you can consume without burning or urgency. The reward is a calm bladder lining that no longer sends panic signals to your brain. And now that you know all 5 major irritants, caffeine, carbonation, acidic foods, alcohol, and artificial sweeteners, spicy foods, there's one more truth you must hear from Dr. Daniela Ramirez. None of this will work without your mindset. You must stop waiting for a magic pill or a miracle cure. No diet, no supplement, and not even the most advanced surgery can help you if you're not willing to change your daily habits with intention and consistency. True simplicity isn't just about what you stop eating or drinking. It's about the attitude and commitment with which you decide to take back your life. You must avoid falling into the mindset that you're too old to change, or that it's too late to fix this. It is never too late to give your body a chance to heal. Consistency is the force that turns these solutions into results. Regaining control of your bladder, your sleep, and your social freedom happens one disciplined day at a time. Your mind must be your ally, not the prison guard holding you hostage to old habits. Today, you've walked through a simple but powerful roadmap to reclaim your bladder and your confidence. You've learned that embarrassment and sleepless nights are not your destiny. They are the result of 5 hidden triggers. 1. Caffeine that overstimulates your bladder. 2. Carbonated drinks that create pressure and urgency. 3. Citrus and tomatoes that acidify your urine. 4. Alcohol, especially beer, that fills your bladder fast and weakens your control. And 5. Artificial sweeteners and spicy foods that inflame your bladder lining. Don't ignore this knowledge. Don't keep living with shame. Dr. Daniela Ramirez wants you to enjoy your nights again, to leave your home without fear of leaks, and to regain the social freedom that makes life enjoyable. Now she asks for honesty with yourself. Look in the mirror and ask, which of these 5 irritants is the hardest for you to let go of? Identify it, acknowledge it, and then choose a date, starting tomorrow, when you will reduce or remove at least one of them. Your response isn't a commitment to her. It's a commitment to your own well-being, your sleep, your dignity, and your freedom. If you're ready to take back control of your life, to stop being a prisoner of your bladder, and to finally reclaim the version of yourself you miss, write it down. Share it. Your journey starts with one decision. Tell me in the comments, which irritant will you start cutting first, and when will you begin? Dr. Ramirez is here to guide you, but the first step must come from you.